Aye, aye.
Good shooting, Kai. Not bad, boy.
Watch your step. This land has bled finer warriors than us.
What a world. What a life.
Hot out, isn't it?
I used to patrol out here. Swore I'd never come back. Tama lost his badge near here.
Never had a chance.
You're mine now. Everyone okay? we go!
They're coming! On your left!
On your right! One for you!
That's Thomas' badge. You found it. It really was out here all this time. Right where we left it. Guess I shouldn't be. I was here when he lost it. It reminds me of old times. Long marches under the desert sun. Scouting runs through sandstorms so thick we had to tie our tunics over our mouths. Oh, he was an incredible bastard. Led the defense of Thirdborn, which meant he also led most of our patrols. He'd wake us up before dawn with the most off-key singing you've ever heard and a pot of burnt merc brew. He kept us marching until we had sand in every orifice you can think of, and a few you didn't know you had. Just when it felt like we were going to collapse, he'd call it and we'd make camp. And somehow, we'd all find the energy for a few rounds of cards or songs or stories. He did. Coming back here was a mistake. I don't know what we're doing here. Closure. I never understood the term. Just feels like swallowing the thing that makes you sick. Here's the truth. I led a patrol. We were ambushed. Tama came to our rescue. And he suffered a fatal wound in the process. He was the color of an eel's belly. The stubborn bastard made it all the way back to Thirdborn. We got him a sickbed, but we knew he didn't have long. I wish I could believe that. You ever had to watch someone fade away? When it's slow and agonizing. No glory, no din of battle, no distractions. Then you know. It's like sitting still while someone drags rusty nails over your skin. Sitting there, I noticed that he was missing his badge. In all the time I'd known him, I'd never seen him take it off. Cruel irony, isn't it? He comes to our rescue, and in the process, he loses the thing that marks him as a soldier. I'm sorry, Envoy. I haven't talked about this in a while. I never thought I'd tell this story again. But there's something about the way you've led us, the clarity you've kept. Something about you that inspires confidence. Kind of like just having his badge in hand means more than you know. There's just one last thing I've got to do. There's a memorial site with some cairns on the cliffs east of Thirdborn. One of those cairns is Thomas. It's time I said goodbye. He used to complain his house in Thirdborn never got enough of a cross breeze. I actually think he would have liked a spot on the cliffs overlooking the sea. I hope so, anyway. Let's go.
Can't the way forward in science ever be easy? Oh, hello. I wasn't expecting to see anyone this far from Thirdborn. Are you... Your face! I had a terrible time trying to find a guide in Thirdborn who'd take me here. But meeting you makes it all worth it. I just think they saw me and, well, I'm not a fighter, clearly. And I know it's dangerous, but I couldn't leave without my research. I'm a mycologist, you see, and I'm working on a compendium of the different types of fungus in the living lands. Sure enough, what happens as soon as I show up? A fungus-based illness. There's a riot of data out here. Oh, always. Actually, since you're here, I'm having some trouble with the sporlings. I've devoted my whole life to my fungal friends. But I'm finding that the ambulatory ones aren't quite as, friendly. In fact, they're quite murderous. I'd normally be against harming them, but please kill the sporlings before they kill me. Thank you. You will? Oh, you're a lifesaver. Maybe literally. Good luck. Oh, I've got to write these measurements down before I forget.
Thomas Memorial. Never thought anything could contain that man, you know? That booming laugh, that bottomless appetite, boundless energy. Now he's under a pile of rocks. To be alone? With my thoughts? Oh. Envoy, that's the last thing I want. This is where you're supposed to distract me, lighten the mood with a wisecrack or something. Trying? I thought I was doing a pretty good job. There's something I didn't tell you about Thomas' death. Remember how I noticed he'd lost his badge? I went out. I told him I was going to go find it. He told me to stay. I said I'd be right back. I walked away, Envoy, and I kept walking. You're right. I used to think it would fade over time. But guilt's like a fine wine. Now you know why I never went back to his house in Emerald Stair. Why I never came back to Thirdborn. At least I'm in good company. The truth is, traveling with you and Marius, getting to know Giada, it's felt easy. Too easy. Okay, not that part. But I've come to trust your way of handling those threats when we face them. You're clear-headed. You have your priorities in line. I find myself ready to follow you, and that worries me. I'm not a joiner. I'm good for a skirmish, some war stories, a few drinks, but I'm not someone you keep around. Oh, come on. You sniffed out the plot to raise Fior and you stopped it. But me? I let people down. I let them down when they're counting on me most. Self-compassion. That's a balm for outbursts and hangovers. I know what I am. I'm finally facing it. Except he's gone. There's no making it right. I gotta own that. Of course I'm not. I'm finally being honest about this. Because if he was right, that just makes what I did worse. If I could relive that moment, I don't know that I'd do any better. The way you say it almost makes me believe it. Okay, you got me. One of the things I loved about Tama was how he gave us all a fresh start. No matter where we'd come from or what we'd done. I drifted to Paradise, but never thought about where I'd go from this. I came to the Living Lands running. From storms, from war, from all the things those forces of nature make out of you. Maybe I'm done running away. I don't know what that means I'm running towards, but I think I'm finally ready to figure it out. Once we've stopped the Dream Scourge and dealt with the Steel Garrote. I've got some things to sort out, but it feels good to have something to look forward to. Listen, thank you for visiting Tama's memorial with me. I didn't think I'd ever trust someone the way I trusted him, but both of you have a clarity of purpose I've never seen in anyone else. I'm happy to be proven wrong. Like I just woke up with a hangover. Every feeling, every memory I tried to keep a lid on is sloshing around, and I'm struggling to keep my balance. But I'm also remembering moments I hadn't let myself think on in a long time. Feeling warmth I couldn't get close to. It's a process.
We think of grief as a burden, as something to be conquered. After a while, it gets to be so familiar, it's almost a source of comfort.
I wish this were another burden to conquer. That would feel easier. It's hard to imagine grief ever being a comfort, but I'll have to take your word for it.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
Thanks. I'll get there. And thank you for seeing this through with me. Was there something else? Yeah, it was tough to see him like this. But I'm glad you didn't give him the heart. He's always been the toughest among us. And even if he won't admit it, he doesn't want anyone seeing him at his weakest. But it's more important that he say his goodbyes properly. They would have taken it hard. I'm glad we could spare them that much. I'll be here if you need me.
Thank you for telling us about Tama. For what it's worth, I don't think less of you. Dealing with grief, it's never easy.
I've lost people before. You're right. The grief is never easy. What I didn't know how to deal with was the shame, knowing I'd failed them.
We never fail those who love us. But our conscience tells us otherwise.